All right, everybody. We're gonna briefly talk about this FBI agent that got fired because he had a gay pride, or they had a gay pride flag on their desk. I don't know if it was I don't know who the agent is or was or whatever, but I just think it's funny. I think it's funny and fucked up, and it's crazy to me that Kash Patel can write Kash Patel children's book. He can read. He can write the plot against the king. What the fuck is this? I should buy this and read it. I think I might do that. I think I might do a book review. Okay, I think we're gonna do this. Okay, I'm not gonna buy it on the video, but I think I'm gonna do it. I want to see what it's about. I want to read it. I think that's a great idea for a video. Okay, but let's watch this agent that got fired over gay pride flag.
From having a pride flag displayed on your desk to just doing your job prosecuting bad guys.
What was that? What was this intro here?
From having a pride flag displayed on your desk to just doing your job prosecuting bad
Do they
guys.
not rehearse or anything? Or who is this lady? Like, do they not rehearse or practice before they go on air? Look at this. I'm not trying to make fun of her, but I'm going to just a little bit. Because, like, what is this? This is really bad quality.
From having a pride flag displayed on your desk.
Very timid, and this is exactly what my problem with Democrats is that I'm sure she's a nice woman, and I'm sure she's talented and been doing this for a long time. I don't know, but this is my problem with Democrats. Even in their reporting, they're timid. What is this little hum she's doing? It matters. You have to project a presence and a strength when you're in front of, I don't know, millions of viewers. I mean, this has 300,000 views alone on YouTube. But when you're on live, I mean, obviously it's a television broadcast. When you're on live TV, you have to project a certain confidence and a strength. And Democrats, MSNBC, a left-leaning organization, just doesn't do that. What is this?
From having a pride flag displayed on your desk to just doing your job prosecuting bad guys, seemingly anything and everything is now a fireable offense. In the eyes of the Trump administration, MSNBC has new reporting last night that an FBI agent...
I'm sorry, fire her. Fire her now. I'm serious. This is the most timid reporting I've ever seen in my life. This is a big story. This is important. We have a director of the FBI who's not even an FBI agent, not even experienced in law enforcement, okay? Firing somebody because they had a gay pride flag on their desk. Fire her. We need somebody who can report this with a little bit of rage and a little bit of anger, maybe just a little bit of outrage, because it is wrong. Okay? It is wrong that you can get fired for simply displaying a rainbow flag. I mean, give me a fucking break. Okay, fire her and have Rachel Maddow report this. I'm serious. At least Maddow's got some balls. She's confident. She's loud. She's succinct when she needs to be. Get this person out of here. This is my grandma, okay, on a Sunday afternoon after church with a cup of decaf coffee and 2 creams and 2 sugars. Get her out of here.
Trainee was fired for simply having a pride flag at his desk in a California field office last year. From that reporting, quote, the trainee, who previously worked as an FBI support specialist in Los Angeles, received a letter dated October 1st and signed by FBI Director Kash Patel, claiming he had displayed an improper political message in the workplace during his assignment in California under President Joe Biden. That's according to a copy of the letter shared with MSNBC. The agent trainee, who had most recently been assigned to the FBI Academy in Quantico, won an Attorney General's Award in 2022 in recognition of his work. The FBI did not respond to a request for comment. Just last week, Kash Patel fired at least 15 agents who bent a knee during the George Floyd protests outside federal buildings in Washington, D.C. What NBC News reports was a...
You know why he did that? Because there's a plot against the king. I wish I could get an e-copy of this. I don't want to buy this piece of shit. I don't want to like have a copy. I'd rather just have like an e-book or something, but I don't know if they do that with children's books. I mean, here's the thing. This is legitimately a children's book, I believe. I mean, yeah. That has to be Hillary Clinton, right? That's got to be Kash Patel. What is he, a wizard here? What the fuck is this? There's Trump, of course, with his little scepter and his crown. I like how it's a really small crown, like it's a tiara or something like that. That's kind of funny. What is this fucking garbage? I wish I could read it. Hold on. Can we do this now? Plot against the king. PDF maybe? Do we get a PDF? Please tell me it's available for free. Please. Wait a minute. 48 pages? Are you shitting me, dude? What is this, a fucking chapter book? I'm kidding. Okay, no, it's okay. Wow. Oh my god. It's available. Written by Kash Patel. Look at, he's so proud of him. Look, he's like a fucking wizard. What is he, Gandalf? Oh my god, were we really gonna do this? Were we really gonna do this today? Holy shit. Okay, let's do it. Let's read it. Fuck it. Let's read it, okay? Where's the no, I don't want ads. Unlock next 20 after an ad. Oh my god. I want to skip this shit. I probably should do like an ad blocker, shouldn't I? But alright, ready? Once upon a time, in the land of the free, there lived a wizard called Kash, the distinguished discoverer. Kash was known far and wide as the one person who could discover anything about anything. He found the holy grape deep in the enchanted forest, and he discovered who had stolen the sleeping princess. What the fuck? Is he the main character in this? Okay, he found a dragon took the sleeping princess. Okay, apparently, okay. The heralds who spread important news across the land with their herald trumpets had sung of Cash's fame ever since he figured out the Rushonians were cheating in the jousting tournaments. Oh my god, really? The Rushonians? Just call. I mean, why do you have to add that little oni in at the end of it? Just call them Russians. Like, I mean, I get it. He's trying to make a children's book here, a little fantasy novel, but it's okay. They're cheating in the jousting. They got the hammer and the sickle. I love it. You know what's funny? Fuck Russia, by the way. I don't like Russia. I don't like the Kremlin. Fuck Putin, okay? But it's funny that Cash can single-handedly make the Russians look way more badass than he is. He looks like a fucking pussy right now in that little wizard outfit. But all these quests had been easy for Cash, and the sun rose and set over the land of the free. Cash found himself in grave danger, not of trolls or ogres, but of getting bored. What? He's bored? Why? That is until the choosing day. What's the choosing day? On choosing day, oh, it's the election. Got it. Okay, he's talking about it. Nice. On choosing day, the whole land gathered at the castle to choose the next ruler of the kingdom. The heralds have been announcing that Hillary Queenton would be queen. She says queenly things like fee and thou and forsooth, and her last name is Queenton after all. Oh my god. Holy shit. I can't believe a grown man wrote this. I'm telling you right now. History will remember, and I will be a part of it. History will remember how much of a pathetic little loser and incel and coward that Kash Patel is. Cash, I want you to know this, that I will make it my personal mission. I will make it a hobby of mine, okay, to make sure that history remembers you as the coward that you are and the pathetic little loser that you are. But when the royal counter-uppers counted up the final votes, they realized the people who had dared to choose the merchant Donald, the merchant. By the way, in like almost all of fantasy and fiction, typically the merchants are like the bad guys. You don't want to be a merchant. They're always greedy. They're always participating in like slave trade or trafficking. They're not good people. The knights are the heroes. The wizards are the heroes, right? But not the merchants. The merchants are typically the bad guys. Okay, the heralds and Hillary were horrified. Donald didn't care what the heralds said about him, and he was determined to make the kingdom great again. Oh my god, thus King Donald. Isn't it a problem that our FBI director, isn't even an FBI agent? He's not even law enforcement in the slightest. But he wrote a book about Donald Trump being the king in a democratic country. The director of the FBI looks and sees Trump as the king. Isn't that a problem? Isn't that fucked up? Just a little bit? Thus King Donald moved into the castle and everyone turned to head home. Okay. Hillary's mad. Got it. But before the people could leave, a herald jumped on his stand to make a proclamation. Wait, he proclaimed through this herald. Listen to what this noble knight has to say. Then a shifty-looking knight jumped onto the stand. Donald isn't the rightful king inside the steel box. I have found a paper that says Donald cheated his way to the throne. All people gasped. We're shocked. How could he do such a thing? That didn't happen. Last time I checked, when Hillary lost, she conceded the election. It was over. She conceded. It was done. She went on. She said, "Hey, congratulations to my opponent. I didn't win. He won. It's done. Boom." Last time I checked, nobody accused Donald of cheating. Well, what people did say was that Russia, and there was evidence of this, interfered with like social media and like spreading of misinformation and like election propaganda. They didn't actually interfere with the actual process or the actual like polling stations, but as far as like as far as like the psychological aspect of election season, misinformation, social media presence, there was evidence found that Russia interfered. So again, I'm not sure how he's sitting here writing a children's book. He's an idiot, that's why. But accusing the Democrats of saying that he cheated. He didn't cheat, but the Russians influenced, I would say, the social media aspect and the information spread regarding the election. That's definitely true. There was evidence found. Apparently, the Shifty Night said the Shifty Night. Donald made friends with the Russians while drinking cherry ginger ale at the Swirly Tower Tavern in Rashonia. Swirly Tower Tavern, nice. They helped him cheat. All people know the Herald's supposed to be right. After all, they have loud trumpets and important pieces of paper. King Donald must be a cheater. Look at she's plotting right here. Hillary's like, ah. Oh my god. I'm not even a Hillary fan, but this is ridiculous. And so, even though they hadn't looked at all the facts, everyone agreed that King Donald was a cheater. Everyone except for Duke Devon of the King's Court. Who is Duke Devon supposed to be? Duke Devon had known Donald for years, and he couldn't imagine the king had cheated. The Duke was loyal to the core, which is why Cash was not surprised at all when he walked through Cash's front door. Cash, said the distressed Duke, I am distressed. Nice. I am distressed. Great. Fucking genius writing, by the way. Get this motherfucker a Pulitzer Prize. And these tragical, tangle-full rumors cannot be true of King Donald, but the heralds keep saying that they are true. It must be a plot against the king. That's a very serious thing to say, said Cash seriously. What does Cash think Donald? What does King Donald think about? Wait, I'm confused. Was Kash Patel even like around during the first election? Did anyone even know who he was? It's weird to me. I didn't hear anything about him until he was about to be appointed to become the director of the FBI. Maybe he was in his camp for a long time. I don't know if anyone ever talked about him until like this recent election. He calls them all fake heralds, shrugged the Duke, but I must know what really happened. Great. Look at Cash. Oh my god, this is sad, dude. This is fucking sad. This is the mark of a lonely man. A guy that does this, a guy that writes a children's book calling a president a king is a lonely man with no family, no friends, no connections to the world. His only connection to this world is Donald Trump. We can't decide if they're right. Oh no, ads. I hate ads. We have to wait a little bit, okay? Hey, look, Scrubs is coming back. Nice. Oh, wait a minute. It's just the original series. Got it. Okay. We can't decide if they're right or wrong until we know all the facts. And if you're looking for facts, you came to the right place. Cash put on his wizard head. I am the distinguished discoverer, and I can discover anything about anything. How about you discover being competent, dude? How about you discover being able to answer a question whenever you're at a hearing? All you do is dance and tiptoe around things. I'll help you on one condition. I must share the truth with everyone, no matter what I find. Of course, said Duke Devon. And so they went on a quest for the truth about the plot against the king. The plot against the king? What fucking plot, dude? He won the election. He won in 2016. There was no plot. These people, Republicans, are the only ones that will win elections and still complain and still say life is unfair and still think everyone is out to get them. They're the most pathetic fuckers on the planet, I swear. That's not even close. You guys won in 2016. You won. You should be happy. Hell, you won in 24. You should be happy. But you're not. You guys still complained and blamed Democrats for everything, even though you still won. Took control of the House, the Senate, and the Supreme Court, and the executive branch, right? Still we're unhappy. For the first stop, Cash and Devin visited the Shifty Knight and the Herald's friends. I'm absolutely sure that Sir Donald Trump was a cheater. The Shifty Knight said, I found the paper that proves it right here in the sealed box. But when Cash looked in the box, he found a long, sticky, silvery streak of slime. What the fuck? What? Why is it? Looks like cum. Said Devin, I've seen this before. He and Cash hurried to the slug tables in a shadowy. Oh boy, the keeper of slugs, named Keeper Comey. Oh my god, nice, I love it. Keeper Comey, the keeper of slugs, was in charge of delivering all the king's secret messages. But on this desk, Cash spotted this suspicious letter. Most sincerely, I thank thee for the service to deliver my papers with thine slugs to the steel box. So, are they? Are they accusing Comey of election interference? Is that what's going on here? This is stupid. Was okay. Hold on, I'm gonna look at it. Was James Comey? Right? Oh, wait, what's his name? Comey? Comey. Election 2016. Here we go. Is this what they're saying? What's the October surprise? 2016 October surprise. I want to know what that is. Okay. I don't think that's like I don't really think that matters though. I'm serious. Like I don't think that really matters. Like if you release this tape, right, that they're saying it influenced the election, he still won, by the way. The Washington Post released a recording for yeah, okay, sure. When you're running for president, if you made comments like that, that should be in the light of day. There should be no hiding that. Right? It's one thing to say, hey, I fucked up and said some shit in the past, and then you move on. And it's another thing to hide evidence and then pretend you never did. I don't care if you made mistakes. Own up to them. That's what I want to know. I want to know, can you own up and say, you know what? I said some cringy things back in the day. I screwed up. I'm changed. Let's do this. I can respect somebody that does that. I cannot respect somebody that wants to cover it up. I don't think it's wrong for this tape to be released at all. Okay. This announcement. Okay. Yeah, so Comey got it. Jim Comey got it. Okay, so he did that. Okay, makes sense. Yeah. WikiLeaks. These events likely created a tumultuous atmosphere leading to the election, which each revolution potentially swaying the downside. The term October surprise refers to unexpected events that influence the outcome of the election. Well, what it sounds like, what I'm seeing here, okay, so it's been got it. Okay, what I'm seeing here is, huh. What I'm seeing here is this definitely helped Trump. The decision. Okay. Almost all ended. Okay. Comey revealed that the investigation found nothing more than put emails back in cycle 2 days. Well, when I'm just gonna say this. What it seems like it happened. They tried to like get some information out about Trump, which is fair because you're running for president. We should have everything out in the open. You should not be able to hide anything. I have no problem with that. If again, I don't mind if people make mistakes. But what I mind is if people try to cover it up. That's what I don't like. But it looks like here this thing benefited Trump. I don't see why. Yeah, this whole thing benefited Trump. Although they did try to like, huh? Again, though, I don't think this is a big deal. I'm sorry, I don't see this is a big deal. Where's the book at? Here we go. Yeah, I don't think this is a big deal. I honestly don't care. I'm serious. I don't care. And I'll tell you why. Because if you make a mistake, you're running for president. All your shit should be out there. Like, I don't want you to be president if you can't admit that, hey, I fucked up or I did this dumb thing. I was a dickhead back then, but I changed. I'm serious. Okay. Cried Cash. Now we know where the mysterious rumor came from. All we have to let us discover is whether Hillary Clinton is lying or not. Oh my god, this is like something Eric Cartman wrote, but like it's not funny. That very evening, Cash and Devin set off for the Kingdom and rushed to seek the Swirly Tower Tavern, but then when they arrived, there was no such place to be found. They searched and searched and came. No one had ever heard of such place. What? Okay, what is the Swirly Tower Tavern, dude? What the fuck? I discovered so Cash the Swirly Tower Tavern. Okay. It only makes sense. Everyone knows King Donald doesn't drink cherry ginger ale. Okay, dude, this is stupid. What is this, dude? All the heroes and knights filled the room. The 50 knights stood at the very ice. The sealbox is not true. We went to Rosonia and we discovered there's no sort. Okay. One by one, they all scratched their heads, cleared their throats. No, I don't know any reason or any way. Okay. Oh my god, this is fucking stupid. After Cash followed the shifty knight outside, if you didn't have a reason to believe that King Donald was a cheater, then why do you say all these nasty things about him to the heralds? We tried our best to find evidence. Keeper Comey even sent his slugs into the castle to spy on the king. Slugs to spy. Can we stop pretending that this shit is like spying? If you're running for president and you legitimately said horrible things about women or your opponents, it should be all out in the open. If you're running for president, I want to know what you really are like, not what you want me to think you look like. Okay. I just don't really like Donald. Okay, whatever. Then the Shitty Knight ran straight. Harold said, "Go forth through the kingdom. I have a very good reason to believe that Donald is the truth. What is it? I can't tell you. It's a secret." The Shitty Knights went, "Oh, they love secrets. We'll tell everyone right away." So all the people nodded when they heard. They must be right. And the lot of troops. Okay, got it. As he watched all this happen, the king became sad. "They're still spreading lies," he told Cash. "How will the people ever learn the truth?" Cash sighed. He knew the answer. It was up to him to present the evidence to the people. Oh my god. I love how Cash wrote himself into as a hero, and he can't even answer a basic question at a Senate hearing. What a pussy, by the way. Absolute pussy. And disgrace. Gathering this courage and all this evidence, no courage. He has no courage, by the way. Cash jets up the stairs and wound around the gold tower, but Hillary and the Shitty Knight were right behind him. What the fuck is this scenario? When Cash reached his top, he paused. His eyes were unfortunately, Hillary and the Shitty Knight didn't see him stop. They tumbled over him. What the fuck is this? Cash stood up. Everybody, I am Cash, the great wizard and distinguished discoverer. I discovered that King Donald is innocent. He did not work with the Russians. He did not cheat. You chose him. He became king fair and square. Should I write a children's book about the great Biden and how there was a plot to storm the Capitol, kill politicians, kill Mike Pence, and steal the election that Joe Biden rightfully won? Should I write about how Cash's army and Trump's army stormed the Capitol castle? Should I do that? I bet you I could write a better children's book than this asshole. I love how they're like, oh, I like how it's just fucking children's book about how Trump won fair and square, and yet they couldn't even admit that A, Trump incited an insurrection, and B, that Biden won the election fair and square. I think it's crazy to me. I think it's kind of funny. Like they have no self-awareness, like none, no integrity, not a shred of it. Hillary wrote the paper and had her secrets. Oh, yeah, okay. Stupid. This is dumb. Now that you know more of the facts, it's time for you to think carefully and decide what you think of the king. Don't just trust the person with the loudest trumpet. Oh, wow. Don't trust the person with the loudest trumpet. And yet these people have the loudest voices on Fox News, and they expect everyone to trust them. And all they do is scream, "Don't trust the left. The left is more violent." I got Stephen Crowder. "The left is more violent." Matt Walsh. "We should trap everyone at the Super Bowl and deport everyone." Like that movie, Trap, by M. Night Shyamalan. Seriously, don't trust the person with the loudest trumpet. And these are the loudest motherfuckers on the planet. Tommy Lauren. Bad Bunny isn't American. Like, she's got a loud trumpet, and she's a fucking liar. Holy shit, dude. This is insane. Don't trust the people with the loudest trumpet, and it's them. They're the ones with the loudest voices spreading lies. Holy shit. Lying comes easy to these people. The people paused and considered Cash's speech. We shouldn't have believed that the king was a cheater without any proof. Oh my god, dude. You guys will believe that a leftist trans lesbian, I'm just like using all these like hyperbole, right? You guys will like, the shooter was a leftist trans radicalist extremist, like, who watched MSNBC and had a trans girlfriend. Like, you guys will believe all this shit that isn't even real. You guys believe in facts that you make up or that you twist and cherry pick to fit your narrative, right? But here you are in this book saying, well, we shouldn't have believed the king was a cheater without any proof. You guys are all about evidence and proof now? Bullshit. You guys are all about lies and agendas. Great. The shifty knight tried to say Cash was lying, but the knights of the oval table carried him, Hillary Clinton, the keeper, out of the kingdom, banishing him forever. Some of the heralds kept spreading the rumor that they soon grew bored. They moved on to more exciting tales, declaring the sun was made of mustard and would soon drip down and make everything yellow and mustardy. I'm sorry. Is this like a comment on climate change? I don't understand what the sun, like when do Democrats lie about the sun? And I know I shouldn't take this in a literal sense, but we should take it in a like a small literal, just a little bit of a literal sense, because I don't know what Democrats have lied about regarding the sun. Climate change is real. It's not a theory, right? It's not unproven or anything. We have a mountain of evidence suggesting that the the climate has changed significantly because of man-made efforts, right? So I don't know what this comment about the sun is made of mustard. I don't really know what that means. It's kind of stupid, actually. There's no way people read this seriously and thought like, "Well, this is a pretty smart guy." Wow, Cash is a bright guy. I'm really glad he's leading the FBI fucking I. I'm so glad he's in charge of the FBI. Wow. There's I'll bet a little bit of money, right? That the people that work in the FBI right now, like the like actual field agents, probably think he's a fucking loser. You have to think he's a loser. I mean, this guy's the biggest fucking cuck on the planet. Cash only shrugged. As long as there were people in the land of the free, someone would be trying to spread a ridiculous story, like how you guys always blame the left for every violent thing ever. But you guys will ignore when Melissa Hortman gets killed, or ignore police brutality, or ignore when kids get hanged, black kids get hanged in the South. But then, but the investigation says, oh, it wasn't foul play, it was a suicide. Like literally, black people don't lynch themselves. Cash identified the news truth that after proclamation, and everyone else who wanted to know what really happened could learn it too. This is stupid. This guy's an idiot. And so Duke Devon, King Donald, and Cash, a distinguished subscriber, went back into the castle to share a nice meal with no cherry ginger ale. I don't know what this cherry ginger ale thing is all about, honestly. So with that, the kingdom was made great again. And from that day on, they lived happily ever after. What's this scenario where like Cash is living happily ever after with Donald Trump? This is fucking pathetic, dude. Holy shit, this is sad. This guy is lonely. Oh, here we go. Here's the propaganda. Here's the propaganda. The true story of Kash Patel and Russiagate. Dear citizen of the land of opportunity, after Donald Trump's election in 2016, the liberal media began buzzing about a leaked document known as the Steele dossier. Written by Christopher Steele, the dossier claimed that Trump had colluded with Russia to steal the election. The House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence was chosen to investigate this Russia collusion narrative, and Chairman Devin Nunes, asked me, Kash Patel, to lead his team. We conducted our investigation in 3 steps. First, we fact-checked the dossier and found significant evidence that several incriminating deals could not be accurate. Second, we found that the money back to the organization that paid Steele for his report, the Hillary Clinton campaign, and the Democrat. Okay, so they're blaming. Got it. Okay. Third, we interrogated over 60 witnesses under oath, none of whom could affirmatively say that they approved the Trump administration included. Oh no. Oh, hold on. We have to wait for the ad while this plays. Okay. Hold on a second. I'm gonna look something. Oh no. Did Trump collude with Russia? I want to know. I want to know what the real fact is, not this fucking children's book written by Trump's biggest cuck. Let's see what fact check says. Okay. I want to know. What's their verdict? I don't want a whole. Hold on. PolitiFact. I want something that's. I don't want to do a whole thing right now. Okay. Obviously, he's saying no collusion. What's that one? I want to know. I want a quick blurb. I really don't want to read a whole thing right now. I just read this stupid children's book, so I need to take a break. Okay. Interesting. Investigation. Links between. Okay. Huh. Okay. 1 second. Did Trump collude with Russia 2016? Okay, we're gonna figure this out, okay? So Robert Mueller's special counsel ran 2 years, 37 indictments, documenting extensive contacts between Trump campaign and Russian operatives. Mueller's team found Russia absolutely interfered in the 2016 election through hacking social media, which is why we have these farms here. Hold on. I mentioned this up here. The Internet Research Base on State Patriot described it as a troll farm, created thousands of social media accounts that purported to be Americans supporting Trump against Clinton, fabricated articles. So yes, that's massive. That's massive. Trump campaign welcomed benefited from the interference. There were dozens of meetings, communication between campaign officials like Paul Manafort, Donald Trump Jr., and Roger Stone. Russia's connected to the Kremlin. However, This part got twisted. Mueller did not establish a prosecutable criminal conspiracy. Okay. There was collusion. There was 100%. They found it. However, there was not enough evidence for a criminal conspiracy. Okay. Mueller said this himself. If we had confidence that the president clearly did not commit a crime, we would have said so. That's not an exoneration. That's a prosecutor's way of saying there's smoke, maybe fire, but we can't prove arson in court. Russia did interfere. Trump's campaign knew about it, but never reported it. Okay, this happened. We have proof of this. Okay, look. According to the U.S. intelligence community, the operation, codenamed Project Lakta, was ordered directly by Russian President Vladimir Putin. The hacking and disinformation campaign to damage Clinton helped Trump become the core of the scandal known as Russiagate. Computer hackers affiliated with the Russian military intelligence service GRU infiltrated information systems of the Democratic National Committee, the Democratic Congressional Committee campaign, and the Clinton campaign officials, and publicly released stolen files and emails during the election campaign. Individuals connected to Russia contacted Trump's campaign associates, offering business opportunities and proffering damaging information on Clinton. Russian government officials have been denied any of the leaks or hacks, and Donald Trump denied the interference it even occurred, but we still found it. We still found evidence. It's real. It happened. Okay? We can't prove. We don't have we can't prove it that he committed the crime, right? We can't prove that he didn't do it. So it's really messed up that Kash writes this book lying about it, basically. Insane to me. Fucked up, man. This is crazy. Hold on. Where's the? I'm gonna refresh here. So we basically read this whole thing. It's fucking stupid. Oh no. My computer's freezing. That's not good. Here we go. But we found significant evidence. Nice. In 2014, Ukrainian presidential was directed by cyber attacks over several days, including the release of hacked emails, alteration of vote tallies, and distributed denial of the service attacks. DDoS attacks. Got it. To delay the final result, they were found to have been launched by pro-Russian hackers. The malware that would have displayed a graphic declaring far-right candidate Dmytro Yarosh, the electoral runner, was moved from Ukraine's Central Election Commission less than an hour before polls closed. Despite this, Channel 1 Russian falsely reported that Yarosh had won, broadcasting the same fake graphic that had been planted on the Election Commission's website. American intelligence agencies concluded that Russian President Vladimir Putin personally ordered the covert operation codenamed Project Lakta, while Putin denied the allegation. At the 2018 Helsinki summit, Putin said he wanted Trump to win because he talked about normalizing the U.S.-Russia relationship. There it is, boom. There it is, straight from the fucking horse's mouth, dude. Fuck this guy, okay? Fuck this guy. So Kash writes this book accusing everyone of lying and trying to fuck over Donald Trump, even though we did find evidence. The leader of the only false narrative to come on our street was Adam Schiff, who earned a reputation for promising the media that he had the scoop on how Trump had colluded with Russia. We have the evidence. They couldn't find it. They didn't have enough, evidence for criminal conspiracy, but they found collusion. They found a clear and easily proven pattern. That's a big deal. David and I published our findings and the New News memo and declassified the Department of Justice and FBI's own documents. Immediately, Schiff responded with one meritless claim after another. The mainstream media lapped it up. His own Schiff memo was lauded by journalists who seemed to be only looking for the flashy headline, whether it's not true. In the instance, it's been a slow, steady fight for justice. Former FBI Director James Comey, his deputy Andy McCabe, and 15 others were fired or resignated for their involvement in misleading federal court to get surveillance warrants of Trump, which would later vacated as a result of our investigation. And Inspector General of the DOJ, Attorney General, and the FBI Director, all under oath, admitted Hillary and DNC did pay seal for his dossier and intentionally misled the court to just investigate. Okay. This book is one way I'm doing my part to share the truth. The story cannot be forgotten. I also had the honor of contributing to a documentary, The Plot Against the President, where Devin, Donald Trump Jr., and I, along with several others, told our story in much more detail. Hope you'll research yourself so that you can learn the truth about the plot against the king. He's literally calling him a king. It's not even a joke anymore. He's calling Trump a king right here. This is blessings, Kash Patel. Oh my God, and he's got a picture of him. It's like he's like a toddler, dude, who's like looking up to a G.I. Joe, like his hero. He worships this guy. This is pathetic, man. Oh my God. Look, Trump wasn't convicted, but he did collude. He knew about it. His campaign knew about it. Like our intelligence agencies prove that Russia did it. Like it happened. It's real. Okay. The first method of Russia interference used the Internet Research Agency, a Kremlin-linked troll farm, to wage a social media campaign that favored Donald J. Trump and disparaged political candidate Hillary Clinton. Yep, that's a big deal. That's massive because social media is very, very powerful and it does influence the way people vote. Russian use of social media to disseminate propaganda was very broad: Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, Tumblr, Pinterest, Medium, YouTube, Vine, Google. Vine? Seriously? Wow. Vine's still around? Among other sites. Instagram was by far the most used platform, the one that largely remained out of the public eye until late 2018. Mueller report lists IRA-created groups on Facebook. Clinton supported conservative groups. Tea Party News supported Black social justice group, Blacktivists, and LGBT groups, LGBT United Religious Groups, United Muslims of America. The IRA Twitter accounts included 10 GOP claiming to be the Tennessee Republican Party, Jen Abrams, Pamela Moore, both going to be Trump supporters, and both had 70,000 votes. So these are fake accounts. Got it. Okay. Several Trump campaign members: Donald Trump Jr., Eric Trump, Kellyanne Conway, Brad Parscale, and Michael T. Flynn. Yeah, Michael Flynn. Linked or posted material from the IRA's 10 GOP account listed above. Other people who responded to IRA social media accounts included Michael McFaul, Sean Hannity, Roger Stone, and Michael Flynn Jr. Advertising was bought by Russian offices. 10 million users. That's insane. That's powerful, man. And Kash is like, it never happened. It was a plot against the king. Evil Comey and evil Hillary Clinton were trying to screw over my daddy, my boyfriend, Donald Trump, the man that I worship and want to make love to. That's literally what Kash is doing right now with this book. This is pathetic. Holy shit. Fabricated articles and disinformation were widespread from Russian government-controlled outlets. RT and Sputnik popularized pro-Russian accounts on Twitter and all social media research to convict Russian tactics during 2016. Election to active measures of the Soviet Union during the Cold War, but made easier by the use of social media. Oh man, I love it, man. You gotta give credit to Russia, pulling out some Soviet tactics, but making them a little more modern for today. Damn. Monitoring 7,000 pro-Trump social media accounts over 2.5-year period, researchers Jay Amberger, Andrew Weisbert, and Clint Watts found that the accounts denigrated critics of Russian activities in Syria, propagated falsehoods about Clinton's health. Watts found Russian propaganda to be aimed at fomenting dissent and conspiracies against the U.S. government and its institutions. By autumn of 2016, amplifying attacks on Clinton in support for Trump via social media, trolls, botnets, and websites. Monitoring news on Twitter directed at one state, Michigan, prior to the election, Philip and Howard found about half of it fabricated or untrue. The other half came from real news sources. In continued analysis of the election, Howard and other researchers found that the most prominent methods of disinformation were ostensibly organic posting, not advertisements, and found an influence operation activity increased after 2016 and was not limited to the election. Of course, they're going to still want to influence. Look, Putin has had Trump in his pocket for forever now. Trump is unable to stand up to him. He's a coward. He's afraid of him. So I'm not surprised that even after the election, even after Trump won, I'm willing to say that he won fairly, by the way, because they didn't interfere in the actual election process. They interfered in the information surrounding the election. They interfered in the hearts and minds aspect of the election. They didn't actually interfere with the polling, okay? But I will say, I'm not surprised that Russia continued their activities after the election because they want to control Trump. It benefits them to have him in power because they can control him, because Trump is a coward and too weak to fight back. The ads which ran 2015 from social, okay, Facebook turnover information about the Russian-related ad bias, Special Counsel Robert Mueller. For 3,000 adverts were involved, and those viewed, 4 and 5 million, Jesus, prior to the election. It's insane. 2019 announced by the Washington Post Outlook reviewed a number of troll accounts active in 2016 and 2018 and found that many resemble organic users. Rather than wholly negative and obvious, many confirmed troll accounts displayed humor that were astute in exploiting questions of culture and identity and are affiliated among the first to push new divisive conversations. Yeah. Some of which are quickly moved to mainstream print media. Of course, yeah. They're not going to be negative, obvious, and be on the nose, but they're going to be a little bit more layered. They're going to be more complex. They're going to seem like they're more organic. They'll do pop culture humor. They'll exploit questions of culture and identity. They won't be on the nose and completely be against the other side. But this is how they bought people. This is how they were able to get people to vote a certain way and influence the election. It's the subtlety that's the scariest. It's not the stuff that's on the nose. The subtle strategies are the most effective. Another study. Okay. Wow. Okay. Fucked up, man. Nice. So they hacked John Podesta, who is a former chairman of Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign. Wow. Pretty twisted, man. The fact that he can't even admit that Russia was involved and that Trump's campaign knew about it, to go so far as to say that it was a plot to attack or overthrow the king. This is evil. The plot against the king. I think we have to hereby formally cancel the director of the FBI today. Kash Patel, you are an absolute coward. Everything you stand for is pathetic and based entirely in fiction and fantasy. Trump will never love you the way your parents didn't. So I can't believe I read this garbage today, but this is what I will do for people that watch this channel. I will subject myself to CIA level black box torturing, right? So thank you for watching. I am Scott. Like, share, subscribe, comment on below, and give me a fuck Donald Trump and fuck Kash Patel, because this children's book is the most pathetic fucking thing I've ever read in my life. Absolute disgrace that he is the director of the FBI now. I mean, look at this shit. Unreal. All right, see you guys later. Peace.